When the world is in trouble, and you don't know who to run to, who do you call? The Teen Titans! Let's go. Yo, what's up guys? The Insane Game for here. But you didn't see this coming, did you? Yeah. I'm gonna start doing this for a lot of the older school shows that actually have a plot, like, I don't know, this, and Samurai Jack and whatnot. But for right now, this is Teen Titans Season 1 overview. I'm going through all 5 seasons, and if the response is good enough, I might even do the motherfucking movie. Yay, yay! Now you're probably wondering why I call this an overview. I call this an overview for a pretty simple reason. Most people have seen Teen Titans. And if you hadn't, this is still a good way to get introduced to the series in some sense, since I'm going by season. There will also be cool discussions I will throw into these videos, and you know damn well there are going to be some epic discussions about this. Especially because there are a lot of things about this series that you can still talk about, like the wars that have been going on in forums about the couples, which I probably won't delve into until probably 2nd season or 5th season. It depends. I might do a 5th season just because we'll have all the information out there. But anyways, let's get on into the review. So Teen Titans is a series that was started in 2003 and went for 3 years to 2006, in the course of which it had 5 seasons and 1 movie. Now, the Teen Titans is literally based around a comic of the same name. And most of the characters that are used from the comic are used in the show. There are some slight tweaks and changes in outfits and whatnot just to make it updated. And obviously if some things are changed. As far as if it follows the plotline of Teen Titans the comic, I wouldn't know. I had never read the DC comics, so I apologize to you guys on that front. So let's go ahead and get into our main characters. You have Robin, the Boy Wonder. If you don't know where Robin's originally from, what the fuck? For anyone who doesn't, sidekick to Batman, and this is his. I believe right. This is the first television series he got by himself, where he was just running things by himself. And pretty much, since he's just pretty much a mini Batman, and it shows throughout the series. So that's really where he goes. Next up on the chopping block, we got Cyborg, half man, half machine. Pretty much he's a normal kid who got into an accident, and to save his life they had to put all the pretty much is like we can rebuild him kind of situation. Has cannons on his arms, supersonic technology all through his body. Can shoot fucking lasers and shit. And he's really fucking strong. There we go. Cyborg. Next we have probably the fan favorite of girl characters in this series, Starfire. Now, just to take a quick detour for a second, if anyone was a fan of Starfire in the comics, from what I've seen, the comics, when they translated Starfire over into like television, they drastically changed her appearance for hell. Like, if you look at what she originally looks like, and then look at what she looks like now, it's one hell of a damn switch. It's also due to note that besides Robin, Cyborg and Starfire have never actually been in TV. This is like their first TV appearances. But Starfire is pretty much an alien from the planet Tamaranian, and she pretty much is there on Earth. She kind of made her home on Earth, learn about human culture and everything. And, you know, she works as a superhero. She can shoot star bolts, and later on, she gets some, she only really gets one new power-up, but for the most part, she's super strong, she can fly, and she can shoot these things she calls star bolts, which are green alien blasts, I guess is the best way to describe it. Next up, also making their first appearances in the show would be Raven and Beast Boy. Raven is I guess the best way to put it is that she's kind of like a witch, or I think witch is like the best fucking way to describe her. She can use psychic powers that are controlled by her emotions, and because her powers are controlled by her emotions, she doesn't show that much emotion. And she comes from a place of Azarath because, for one, well, we don't find that out until later, but let's just say she comes from Azarath, and most of her attacks come from her using psychic powers and using the phrase Azarath, Metrion, Zinthos, and which to a lot of people would be determined as witchcraft, and that's how she fights. Also, if anyone's wondering, a character that has that kind of a dark personality in a superhero group, it gets explained later. Just throw that out there. And finally, we have Beast Boy, who also is making his first appearance in the TV on this. He So the thing about backstories when it comes to this is that a lot of the backstories get covered as the series goes on. But the gist of what I can tell you about Beast Boy is he's a shape-shifting humanoid creature who can turn into any type of animal. He's pretty much like, I think there's another form of him like floating around in the continuity known as Changeling, I think is the name, where they can change into shit. But yeah, Beast Boy just shapeshifts for the most part. So yeah, the pretty gist of the story is that you have these 5 heroes and they go pretty much to save this particular city. We don't actually get a name for the city, I believe. I mean, through the entire series, you never get a name for the actual city they're in. And they all live together in this big T-shaped building where they, you know, fight crime, essentially. That's essentially what the series is about. So I guess we should go into the first season. As you may know or may not know, the seasons are divided kind of by characters in some sense. Like, some seasons have the tendency to focus on certain characters more than others. Like, for the first season is really dedicated to Robin. Season 2 is more dedicated to Tara, which is a character you won't get into until Season 2, obviously. Season 3 is more dedicated to Cyborg. Season 4 is more dedicated to Raven. Season 5 is dedicated to Beast Boy. That's how the seasons usually work with this. Also, a side note to mention. The opening theme for Teen Titans comes from a Japanese pop group known as Puffy Amiyumi. If you do know who these people are, some of the background music for Teen Titans, along with the theme itself, come from that group. And if you should know who Puffy Amiyumi is, because later on, they actually got popular enough to have their own show, which also aired on Cartoon Network for a time. Just a nice tidbit I figured I'd throw out there. So, each season is 13 episodes. There's also one lost episode that only aired on TV once, and was kind of part of that whole post-serial promotion thing. If anyone remembers that, that's technically the episode that's lost is the quote-unquote pilot episode, even though it's just a kind of a random encounter. Which is the other thing I need to bring up. This series has a plot, but there are a lot of bullshit episodes that don't have anything to do with the plot. But at the same time, they do. It just depends on your point of view. So the first 13 episodes, they focus on Robin. The first season focuses on Robin for the most part. How it focuses on Robin, he introduces one of your main villains, which I probably should go into. The main villain that you really just need to be concerned with is Slade. He's one of the main villains in the first season. Actually, no, he is the main goddamn villain in the first season. Slade, we know very little about. We just know that this dude has had, like, this vendetta to just fuck up the city, period. They kind of made him pretty one-dimensional on some level. He just wanted to fuck up the city. He wants to control the world. And he uses a lot of underhanded and dirty ways to go through it. Some other notable villains that you will remember, you will continually see throughout the seasons. The Cinderblock, Plasmius, and the Hive. Pay attention to the Hive. The Hive becomes kind of a big deal around Season 3. Thunder and Lightning, who become somewhat of which reappear later on in the series. I think that's the main one. Oh yeah, Control Freak. I believe those are the main villains you were introduced to in the first season. Because there's really no one else they bring up. So, that's pretty much your staple villains. Now, when I say overview, and I've obviously gone pretty far into this, it's pretty much we're just going to talk about the season. How things were developed. Pretty much, the basic gist of Season 1 is kind of focusing on Robin's obsession with Slade. Because what actually goes through Season 1 is potentially you have the introduction to the character, some character theme episodes. But the underlying plot of Season 1 is pretty much Robin's issue with Slade. And the way it happens is like we get a whole bunch of random encounters. And while getting these random encounters, you see Slade coming up behind almost every one of these encounters. Like the first time they fight Cinderblock and Plasmius, or when they fight Thunder and Lightning, Slade is behind those guys. Fuck, he even hires the Hive to fuck with the Titans. And just to note, the Hive is originally a group of 3 people. Mammoth, Jinx, and Gizmo. Mammoth is just a strong fucker. Jinx is pretty much like the opposite of Raven. It's pretty much like Raven. Uses kind of like some type of powers, psychic-ish powers. And so Jinx is really known for bad luck. hence the name Jinx, and Gizmo's a techno weirdo. He hires them and just starts fucking with them. And he does this repetitively. And the reason why I say this season is about Robin getting overly obsessed is because Robin gets so obsessed with this guy that he actually does the one thing you will never see Robin do in the entirety of this series. Actually, I don't think we've seen Robin do, period. The dude went undercover as a bad guy and started doing some fucked up shit. He started stealing shit just to get close enough to him to fuck him up. That is how obsessed Robin was in season 1. Which, and I feel like they did a good job of balancing it out. It wasn't like he was just ridiculously obsessed and he wanted... Well, let me rephrase that. He was really fucking obsessed, but they didn't focus that much on it enough where it got on your nerves. It was like, Robin, shut up about Slade. Luckily, it's 13 episodes, so they couldn't drag that out if they fucking wanted to. And this shit gets resolved in the first season anyway. Well, it gets resolved with his obsession anyway with Slade in the first season. Pretty much, if you wanted to watch the last 2 episodes of the first season, The Apprentice Part 1 and Part 2, which is a thing you guys need to know about. It seems like in every season, the big main ending of each season is usually a 2 or 3 part episode. Keep that in mind because that's going to show up, as I said, it shows up in every goddamn season. The Apprentice Part 1 and Part 2 pretty much is after a mission, after another ruse thrown up by fucking Slade ends in Robin getting nowhere and his team disarming a quote-unquote bomb that was apparently faulty because it didn't go off. He finds out directly after the fact that apparently that bomb wasn't never meant to go off. What it was meant to do was it meant to infect those Titans with pretty much a disease, so where Slade could literally push a button and kill all of them. Robin was made aware of this by Slade himself. And this is where we kind of get into Slade's character development, because Slade's character development is pretty much, he realizes he's aware of his mortality, so the first thing he's thinking, and this becomes his little bullshit shtick for a little while, is he wants a goddamn apprentice. As much as him and Robin are fighting it out, and Robin's having a hard time beating him, Slade thinks Robin would make the perfect apprentice because he's already, like, in the zone. Also, for any of you Batman fans, it's within these 2 episodes you get your only goddamn Batman reference. Because when I remember this clearly, there's a point where Slade goes, Robin, just think of me as your second father, and Robin's like, I already have a father. And then it kind of goes up into the darkness and you see bats fly out. And it's like, if you're a Batman fan or a comic fan, you're gonna get that reference, because that was totally a Batman reference. But anyways, so because of the whole holding his friends for hostage and shit, Robin has to do pretty much Slade's bidding, which is pretty much become his apprentice and start doing a whole bunch of stealing and shit. His friends don't know, because obviously they wouldn't be that much of a plan if they knew. So they end up having, they can't really seriously fight Robin, but they have to like stop him on some level. And I'm not going to ruin the ending for you, but let's just say things kind of go out and you find out, and you probably see the dumbest move Slade made in his life. I'm not even going to tell you what it is, but let's just put it this way. The second part of Apprentice, you find out you see the dumbest thing Slade ever did in this entire show. The dumbest fucking thing. And it's because Slade and Robin are alike. That's all I'm going to fucking say. I'm not going to spoil it. But now to get into some more discussion type stuff. Maybe we can put this in the comment section, or put it in the fucking comment section of video responses. Video responses are welcome. What I want to talk about are favorite episodes. What are your favorite episodes and what are your least favorite episodes? Now in the first season, I'll leave a link to the wiki so you can see which episodes are in the first season or not. But for me personally, my favorite episode out of the first season is probably the Fear episode. And if you don't know what the Fear episode is pretty much the introduction of Control Freak as a villain. And we finally get to see, I don't know, just to put this on the record, Raven is like my favorite female character. But I don't hate Starfire, but I just want that to be known. But Raven is my favorite female character. So pretty much my 2 favorite episodes are Raven themed ones. It's the, what is it? I forget what it's called, but it's like Light Out or something, or Freak Out, because there's two. There's one where Control Freak is introduced, and we have the whole remote thing, and pretty much is Raven dealing with her fears in the form of some shit happening in the tower. And the second one is the one where we're introduced to the other character, which I forget to mention until fucking now, Dr. Light. And we find out Raven has some issues with her father, which is a big plot point. Just point that out to you guys who haven't watched it, but it's a plot point. It's a major fucking plot point. And this episode kind of develops Beast Boy and Cyborg's relationship with Raven, because as you can kind of tell, Raven is not the most sociable person in the planet. So yeah, it kind of strengthens their relationship through a whole bunch of crazy ass events. And my least favorite is probably, ironically, it's the second fucking episode of the series. Which, if you don't know what that is, the second episode is the introduction of Starfire's sister, Blackfire. Me personally, not the hugest fan of that episode. It's not a horrible episode, I just don't like Blackfire. Blackfire kind of made that episode really fucking annoying. Considering it's the second, like, that episode to me felt like it came way too early, considering the series had just started, and within the second episode we're introduced to another goddamn character. Like, that, to me, that seems a little ridiculous, just throwing that out there. But that's just me. But leave your favorite moments and favorite parts of season 1 in the comment section below, or video response. Personally, my favorite part of season 1, besides those episodes, the apprenticeship was done really well, in my opinion. I do like how it ended. It was pretty fucking funny, and it isn't like just for the no one dies in the first season, which I don't think is a big issue. I mean, in a lot of cartoons they don't kill characters anyway, so I wouldn't expect you guys to be like, oh shit, someone dies. Not really. If anyone can catch the little hint I just threw out there, I'll see if anyone catches it in the description. I'm just saying. No one dies in the first season. That is pretty much all I have for you guys as far as the overview for season 1. Tell me how this review came out to you, or overview came out for you guys. Do you like it? Do you want me to continue doing the seasons? I mean, I only got 4 more in a damn movie. And that's if you guys want the other 4 in the movie. I might just stop at 5. When we hit season 2 overview is when I'll probably start bringing up the couple shit. And if you don't know what the couple shit is, wait until season 2 overview. It's gonna be a fucking doozy. But anyways, as always, I'm the Insane Game Freak, Game Editor, whatever. Life's a game, play to win, and I will catch you guys later. Peace. Tighten out.